customer, on the borrower, of course. Typically, if you're a W-2 wage owner, we ask for the last 2 years W-2s.
Okay.
We'll ask for a couple current pay stubs.
Okay.
Tax returns are not always required, but we like those anyway, just in case we do need them along the process. If you own rental properties, if you own a business, tax returns are very important, and they'll be needed to qualify. Okay. Typically your recent pay stubs, your W-2s, and then when you get into the asset portion, obviously we'll talk about what you want to bring to the table. If you want to make a down payment, where that money's coming from. We would need to source that. Very important to know where that money's coming from, so we would ask for bank statements. If there's any additional assets, like a 401k maybe, or an IRA, CDs, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, things like that, we would ask for that as well. So we like to, gain and gather as much information as possible. Maybe not all of it's needed for qualifying most of the time, but it's always good to have it. That way we can, we're armed and ready to go for the best approval possible.
All right. So, we're going to go from one lender to the other lender over here. So we're going to swing this around over here to the other lender. So, because the money is the part that's required. So we can't even step into a home until we get the money,
That's where it starts.
So we got all the documents from Brandon. Brandon just told we got all the documents. So after we get the documents to you, what do you do after you get it? Now you have all the documents, and you put it in the computer. What happens next?
Well, we start looking at options. First, we take a credit report out and see where the credit is at.
Okay.
And then we start going through all the options available for the client and try and find which one's going to be best fit for their unique situation.
Okay. And is that based off the money you have saved, or what is it based off? Debt to income ratio?
Yes, it varies on a few things. So it varies on first debt to income ratio. Usually most loans can go up to between 45 and 50. If you go FHA, you can go a little bit higher if you have good credit. We look at debt to income, then we look at the credit score, of course. That's a big decision. And then we look at what they want their monthly payment to be, and other factors, as well as other, like if they have student loans, that's going to affect their debt to income, so their monthly payment will vary. If they want to do a fixed rate versus an ARM, there's a few things that can vary.
Okay, all right. More so because the debt to income ratio has been huge on a lot of stuff. But what I want to talk about now is because we're in Denver right now, and it's affordability issue right now, right? That's the big thing, affordability. Can I live in this city, this great city and state of ours? So talk a little bit about that. Do you have any programs out there with Key Bank to help with the community?
Yes.
If so, can you talk about it?
Of course, yeah. We have the Key Community Loan, which offers 100% financing with no PMI. PMI is private mortgage insurance. With that, we're also doing a $5,000 lender credit that can be used towards down payment. It could be used towards closing costs, and you can even buy down the rate with that. And in order to qualify for that, the house needs to be in a majority-minority census tract. And for Key Community, this is focused for low to moderate income census tract areas, as well as majority-minority census tract.
Wow. We have some programs out there.
Yes.
So I'm going to switch it around to this other lender over here. Do you have any programs so we can get into with affordability in mind?
We do. Much like other lenders, we offer conventional FHA, VA loans. We have Fannie Mae loans. Home Ready, in particular, offers a 3% minimum down payment. But more specific to the bank, is we are offering a lender grant right now that goes up to, for purchases for primary homes, goes up to $10,500. And it is a grant. Much like Gonzalo mentioned, it is based on a couple different factors, depending on a threshold for income, or if the property is located in a certain geographical tract in an eligible county. So depending on the financing as well, whether or not it's conventional or FHA, there's a couple different conditions involved there. But yeah, for the most part, it's a great opportunity to basically provide free funds to borrowers that may need it as down payment assistance.
Well, usually they always talk about free funds, but we find out that they added interest rate and all that stuff. Is that, I mean, the interest rate go up or anything?
No,
for
not with the
these?
grant. The grant is a grant. It is what it says. It is a grant. It's free money that is provided by the bank. There are down payment assistance programs that are available through, through CHAC, Colorado Home Assistance Corporation, CHAFA, and many others around the city, of course. Those are more structured to where they are second liens, if you will, or loans that typically may carry an interest rate and may carry a payment depending on how they're set up.
Okay.
But as far as our grant right now, that's just money that the bank is offering for certain applications, certain borrowers that fit the eligibility criteria.
So my question is there an income restriction on this?
There is an income restriction. I believe right now it's $94,250 and that's collective for all members that'll be living in the home.
Okay. All right. Great. Now we went to credit. We got the money. Now we're gonna need to go get the house. Now I'm the one. My name is David Babineau from Caldwell Banker Realty, and I'm the realtor. So once we get the money, now my job is to find you a home. So basically, what I'm asking you, where do you want to live first? I want to find out where you want to live, and based off the money you have. You tell me the location that you're interested in. I usually send out the MLS, and that's listings, homes that's available for you to go see. Once we find a home that you really like, we put an offer on that home, okay? So we submit an offer. It's either accepted, countered, or rejected. If it's to say we had a perfect one and it's accepted, okay, next step, okay, we need to go, it's called earnest money. And typically, earnest money it's like a down payment per se, not just a down payment, but it's a deposit on saying, okay, buyer and seller, we are under contract. Typically, you need at least 1%. So if the house is going for $500,000, typically is $5,000 earnest money. But it's really what the seller usually put in the MLS saying what they want. That's all negotiable. Okay? So that part is up. So you said the earnest money usually goes to a third party typically, and we send the earnest money to the title company. Okay? Now, once we go on the contract, everybody got their money. Now we have contractual obligations for 30 days typically. Some, if you got your approval done well, some banks, some mortgage company close in 2 weeks. Some close from 30 to 45 days. So you have a timeline to get certain things. So during that timeline, you have an inspection, which is the huge one. That's usually, inspection is something that actually comes out of your pocket. It's not required inspection, but it's required with me as a realtor to my buyer. $350 to $600 on for inspection for a $500,000 house. You want to get an inspection. So during the inspection, if everything goes right, you negotiate during that time frame, and then everything went well, then you have that appraisal. So y'all lenders know about that appraisal. That's when that person actually come out there and say, this is what the house is worth. They actually go check out the house, upgrades and all this stuff, and they tell you what the house is worth. So we have our appraisal. You got a deadline on the appraisal. Say it appraises. It doesn't appraise. Then the negotiations go there. If it does appraise, then we move forward. Mm-hmm. Then you get to the closing. The idea, then you say, after the closing, successful closing, here's the key. Then we have homeownership. Then we have generational wealth. And that's our goal for African Leadership Group, is to provide generational wealth to our community. All right. I think we're about at the end.
That's very good. I have a question for you, David.
Absolutely.
And it's a general question for most realtors.
Okay.
When a client goes to you and they say, we are interested in buying a home,
Mm-hmm.
If they already know that they have really good credit,
Mm-hmm.
do you suggest for them different lenders that are based on what the client is looking for? Do you shop around for them, in other words, or is there a specific one that most realtors already work with?
Well, I've been in business 18 years, so I know 1,000 lenders. And what I try to do, based off the situation of my client, give them, say for instance, I only have $5,000 in my account. Now we got grants here and there that we can talk about. It's, so if I have 2 or 3 people, I try to give them at least 3 lenders.
Okay.
I want them to shop. I want them to get the best rates. I want them to compare.
Yeah.
That's me. Obviously you want people, I've been working 18 years, so I know who's going to close for me. But the great part about being in the 18 years, you also know who the great lenders are, who going to close,
Right.
who going to get to the finish line. Who, when they tell me as lenders, as a realtor, when you say approved, I know it's approved. You did your job from up top. Now things happen, but you ideally would like. Now I always ask them, do they have somebody they're working with already? That's the first thing you normally ask them. Are you working with someone already? Have they already approved? Because a lot of times they already been approved with so and so. I just want to use you.
Yeah.
And we go with that typically. But if there's programs that's out there, obviously, if somebody's have grants and have a great program for them, I'm gonna mention it. And then they have the option to utilize that program.
Okay.
Okay. But the main thing we talking about, guys, and before we leave anything, we have a homeownership and financial workshop on June 10th from 4 to 7 p.m. June 10th from 4 to 7 p.m. Where? African Leadership Group here. I think it's 10700 East Evans.
Yep.
It's going to be here. We're going to have signs out there, and it's on a Saturday this time. So you have time, put it in your calendars and plan for it. Any last minute questions?
I have one more question.
Okay.
So when a client is ready with their credit,
Okay.
who is the next person to refer them to? The lender or the realtor?
I'm selfish. I want the realtor portion.
You want the realtor, okay.
If you got the credit, come to me. Obviously, I know people are gonna close, but I know I've been in business for a while, so I know who to. Depends on what situation you tell me, and we have that conversation with kind of lenders to refer them to based off their situation. If
They get pre-qualified.
Yes.
That's a big part of it.
Exactly.
The qualification process
Exactly.
is huge.
So my process is when the client is ready with their credit and they are not sure how their income looks like, if they are even going to qualify for a home, I always tell them go to a lender, have them run your credit and do a pre-qualification for you to see how much you can qualify for, because that will determine if you're ready for homeownership or you need to find somebody else that can be your co-signer.
So when they come to me, I say go get the money. So
Okay.
that's my thing. We gotta go and say it's the same thing. The first thing I tell them, go get the money. But I just kind of refer them this way and that way, because I know, kind of know what their situation. But it's always go get the money first.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Don't forget about the Home Ownership Financial Workshop June 10th. We're gonna start putting the posters out. We're gonna put flyers out. We're gonna post it on social media. We're looking forward to seeing you. You can ask us any questions. You can sit and talk with people one-on-one. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.